All right, guys, today's total body fitness is going to be a little bit more of a challenge than we normally do. I'm going to call this the Beastie class. Now, don't get that wrong. You know, Beastie for me is not the same as beast mode for somebody else. We're going to need 3 sets of weights. We're going to need some blocks. And if you have a stability ball, great. If not, we can also do things just on the floor. And you can also do like using an ottoman instead of using the stability ball. We're gonna do like some drop sets and we're gonna do some progressive overload. So we're gonna do the same exercise 2 or 3 times in a row, and we'll be either going up in weight or going down in weight. Also note, we're gonna go down and up off the floor quite often. So if that's a challenge for you and you need to just do something not on the floor, you can also opt to use the wall or something else with a similar type of exercise. All right, guys, let's get started with an easy warm-up. So we're just gonna march in place. Four, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna change into a half jack. So you step out to the side, arms come out, and then return in. Go ahead and bend your knees a little bit to make this movement. Taking it a little slower and a little bigger. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna swing the arms. We're gonna swing back and up, and you can go ahead and bend your knees and hinge forward a little bit at the hips as you go back with those arms. Four, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna do butt kicks. So you're just bending the knee, kicking back like a hamstring curl. And then we're gonna twist. Gonna shoulder roll. And then reverse that roll. And then just kind of move your head around. You can tip from side to side or turn right and left, just whatever naturally feels good for a release in your neck. Just go slow and controlled and not overthink. All right, now we are going to go to touch the toes and stand back up. I do want you to put a softness in the knees so we don't overstretch the hamstrings too quickly. So we're gonna either roll or flat back. You gotta find what feels good to you and then come back up to standing. You can make it a rounded spine as long as your stomach is really strong and pulling in tight. But if you know you've got back issues and need to do it more flat backed, you can make it more of a hinge. And let's finish that out and shake your legs. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into a plank. So if you'd like to do it all the way on the floor, there's your option. You can also do a plank using a chair on your elbows, or you can plank against the wall. We're going to hold this plank for 10 counts. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a quick rest. You're going to do a cat and cow, moving the spine, flexion, extension. Going to go plank again. This time do it on your elbows. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down to your knees and stretch it back into a child's pose. Coming back onto hands and knees, you're going to wag the tail so you're taking your hips right and left. And then let's make your way back up to standing. All right. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna swing some dumbbells. Let me show you what it's gonna look like with light weights first, and then we'll progressively go a little bit higher up, but I want you to see it so you can decide on your own weight set that you have. So we're just gonna swing back and forth, and the fourth, we wanna stop it here. Even though my momentum might want me to go all the way up, we're gonna try to stop it right in front of the shoulders. You can bend the knees and stand up. All right, so we're gonna do 10 of these, then we're gonna go up in weight. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Now you can stay with the weights that you have, or you can go up in weight. You go ahead and decide how heavy you want to go up with. I just went up to 5s instead of 3s. Here we go. We're going to start that swing. You're going to bend those knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Next, we're going to come back down onto the floor for push-ups. Now, push-ups, yeah, everybody's got their variation of a push-up. I like to do mine on the knee. So when I say on the knee, I don't mean in the hands and knees position like this, but if this is all you can do at this time, that's fine. But you can also, if this is where you're at with your push-ups, I'd rather you actually go to a counter to do push-ups or to a wall to do push-ups versus doing something like this. If I want you to do it, if you're gonna do it on your knee, you wanna be a little bit more extended. So I say start on your stomach, bring your hands not too high up. You want them down closer to your chest, not your shoulders, and your elbows a little bit away from your body. From here, you're gonna push up, and then you're gonna land kind of on the top part, more of the quad, your thigh, than the actual kneecap. Then you're gonna come back down and only do as many as you can do, okay? So we're just gonna kind of time this out, and I'll give you a 4, 3, 2, 1 to end it. Let's begin. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and take a rest any which way for you. And then we're going to stand back up. Next, we're going to squat overhead press. So pick the starting weight. We're going to do this 2 rounds. We're going to do 8 on each round. So if you want to start with the 5s and go to the 8s or whatever your or if you'd rather start with the heavy, then go light. But I do want you to try to change your weight set for both. Just kind of depends. Are you feeling beastie or not? So you're going to pick your starting weight. Your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart, toes more forward. You're going to bend both knees. Make sure your knees are tracking towards your toes. Don't let them roll in or go too far open. Then you're going to press up over the head, and then you'll come back down. All right, let's do it. Bend those knees and press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now that you've done 8, you have the option to stay. You can go up in weight or go down in weight. I'm actually going to choose to go down just because that first set, I was getting a little bit of a ting in my shoulder today. Sometimes I go up, sometimes I go down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, next we're going to do a fly. A bent over fly would look like this. Now, if you don't have any equipment, that's the option you're going to take. But if you have a stability ball, you're going to go onto your stomach, onto the ball, and do that same motion. If you want to try to use something in your house, you can get an ottoman, and then you can kneel and put your stomach on that ottoman, and you're going to bring the arms out to the side and down. It may not be a very big range of motion, and that's okay. What we do want to do in this position is make sure your neck is long. So I do just a smidge of a tuck of the chin and then pull my head up and back towards the ceiling. That way you feel like you're long here. If you've got a ball, instead of being on your knees, you can do this out in plank. So you would come up onto your toes, make sure you're a little bit back weighted. This is really right underneath my stomach. My arms are going to come out to the side and down. We're going to do 8, then we're going to take a break, and then you're going to change your weight. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I still feel a little bit in my shoulder, so I'm going to stick with this or maybe even drop that weight. So you can do your second set with no weights and still get benefits, okay? Just make sure if you've got lighter weights or no weights, you still give a good contraction through your muscles. I could move my arms up and down with as little effort, or I can move my arms up and squeeze those muscles like I'm trying to show off, like my biceps, okay? Let's go again. 8 more. Nice long neck, shoulders away from the ears. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Excellent work. Okay, now we're going to come onto our backs, either onto the floor, onto your ottoman, or onto your ball. We're going to do a pullover. We're going to do this exercise twice as well, and you're going to pick your starting set, and then the second round you have the option to go up or down as needed. Now if you're using your ball, best way to get there is to start seated with the dumbbells in your hip creases, and then walk your way down. Make sure when you're walking down you look forward. Don't try to go down and look up. You'll get dizzy and roll off the ball. Look forward until your shoulders come to the ball, and then the head comes to the ball. Hips are up and arms are up. You're going to bend the elbows, bring them back behind your head, and then straighten them up. Now when you straighten them up, if you can keep them over your forehead or slightly over your head, will be better than straight up here. Straight up to the ceiling is a rest. Here, straight up is not as much of a rest. You want your abs a little bit contracted so you're not going into too much of a back bend. Let's do 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Nice. Go ahead and take a rest. You can lift your head up. Option to stay with those weights. If you do choose to go a little bit heavier, go ahead and make that change out now. Let's do another set of 8. We begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're gonna hang onto your ball. One more exercise. You're gonna put your elbows onto the ball. You're gonna clasp your hands, and we're gonna do a bear plank. You're gonna curl the toes under, and then I'm gonna try to lift my knees up off the floor, but not let anything touch the ball except for where I'm touching now with my forearms. So you're gonna curl, push down, lift, just a little bit, and lift, okay? If for whatever reason your ball is not the right height for that, you can move it to the side, you can use an ottoman, or you can go straight up onto your hands and do the same move. This is easier on the floor. Adding the ball makes it harder. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, guys, so go ahead and roll your ball off to the side. Gonna stand back up. And now we're gonna squat and swing the arms. This time we're gonna try to go all the way up overhead. So you can do this with no weights for your first set. If you'd like to try it with a lighter weight, you can try that. Then we're gonna do it again, second round, option to make your change. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. All right. Option to change your weight. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Excellent. Next up, we're going to do bicep curls. So we're going to start with the heaviest weight that you can curl. Your curl looks like this. I want whatever you can do, heaviest first, and then we're going to drop set it. All right, we're going to aim for 10 on this first set. Palms forward, and we curl up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And because we're going to go down in weight, we're going to go up in reps. So our next round is going to be 15 reps. Here we begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Go ahead and take a break. Shake out those arms. Woo. All right, so next we're going to do a step back lunge. So you're going to step onto your mat near the top. You're going to step 1 foot back, bend the knees, and then change feet and step back and bend both knees. Now, thing to be careful on is if you step back, you don't want too much weight in this back foot. As you bend that knee, you might end up having too much tension in this back knee. So we really want to try to load the front leg. So even though I'm stepping back, I'm trying to keep my shoulders forward, my head forward, and trying to stay in that front foot. Now you can start slow, don't go too low, and then build up to it. All right, we're just going to kind of do this as a warm-up, so no particular number that we're going to try to get to. Move at your pace. I'm going to step off my mat here. I think you can see me a little bit better. We're going to step back and go down and step forward. Return and change. do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Finishing it out, shake out your legs. Next, we're gonna go wide legs, and we're gonna do the horse stance squat or the goddess squat, but we're gonna add one heavy weight. I'm gonna have you hold it between your legs, and you're gonna go down and come up. And then we'll do 10, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll do another 10. Let's do it. And if you've got maybe only light weights, I'm gonna hold 2 weights just because my heaviest weight here is 8 pounds, and 8 pounds isn't really gonna be enough. So I'm gonna kind of take them both, and I'm gonna try to hold them side by side, or kind of interlace my fingers so they're kind of going around both of them, so I feel like I kind of got a single weight, and my arms aren't gonna separate like that. I'm trying to hook them if I can get it. We're ready to go. We go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and take a rest. Why not do a curl here, right? Do a couple curls. All right, back on. So get your weight set up. Nice wide stance, toes are out, and we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and shake that out. Next, we're gonna do a bent over row. So if you only have one weight, pick up a second weight. This is what you're doing. You're gonna bend over, you're gonna bend the elbows, but you're gonna pull back towards your hips versus pulling up towards your shoulders. This way we're trying to work the shoulder blades. I want you to feel like your shoulder blades are pinching in and then stretching, pinching in and stretching. Your feet about hip width distance apart, knees are soft. You bow forward to a 45 degree, keeping your back straight. Abs are on. Relax your arms to start, but feel your fingernails still touch your legs. From here, bending the elbows a little bit, but it's not about bending the elbows as much as it is move your shoulder blades. Bring them towards your spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. All right, take a break now. Our second round, you have the option. You can stay, drop it down to a drop set, or go up to a progressive overload. Here we go. And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Go ahead and put those down and shake out those arms. Woo. Let's do a couple shoulder rolls. We're going to get back down onto the floor for a little bit of abdominal work. So we're going to start with a reverse crunch. That means instead of your head and shoulders coming up, your lower hips are going to come up. Now, they don't have to come up very high. They don't even have to come up at all. But what you're looking to do is contract the abs to push your abs down to the mat. That's going to lift your tailbone up and up and up. If you use your arms a little bit more, you might have a little bit more leverage. But if you can do it with no arms, then you know you're not using them at all. You can get the hips only as high as comfortable for you today. Keep it going. Keep contracting and relaxing so it's a pretty quick pulse. You could probably get a good 30 in here. Should start to feel it by now. Keep it going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release the feet wide on your mat so you can windshield wiper from side to side. And next we're going to do a glute bridge. So I'd like your arms still up in the air, and then you're going to lift your hips up and lower down. I really want you to feel like you're using your glutes. Try to really make sure that you're getting a good butt squeeze, arms up in the air so you're not using your arms to help you lift. Moving at your pace. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then you're going to do a frog circle. So a frog circle is nothing more than both knees come into the chest, hold onto your kneecaps. Then you're going to open the legs into that frog position and then circle the legs together with the arms straight now. And then you'll bend the elbows to draw them in. So knees come in, open wide to stretch, and then circle to close. And release. Go ahead and make your way back up to seated. We're going to do another shoulder stretch, internal rotation. I like to do it with a little bit of weight. So you're just going to sit. You're going to prop your elbow up onto your knee. Now I kind of come just inside the kneecap because there's a nerve that comes right underneath. There's your funny bone nerve. If you ever hit your elbow, that's the nerve that comes out of your neck and comes down and creates that awful pain. So we don't want to hit that while we're doing the exercise. Now, the biggest error that people make is they make it a bicep curl. And instead, I want you to think that your palm is going to come down to your foot and back up. So I'm trying to keep like a 90-degree angle here at the elbow, and the hand comes down and up. Do it with no weight first. Make sure you have no discomfort, and then try it with a light weight, 1, 2, or 3 pounds. Do it very, very slow. Let that arm come all the way down, getting that stretch, and come back up. Make sure you're also seated as tall as possible through your spine, so your core has to work a little bit as well. You should start to feel a little bit of that fire burn. If you don't feel it working, go up to 5s, okay? But let me tell you, 2 pounds more does become quite a bit harder. So this is not the exercise that you're trying to load really heavy. If anything, I usually never really go much past 5. Maybe I'll do a 6 on occasion if I'm feeling super beastie. It's more of a rehab. It's more of working that internal rotation of the rotator cuff muscles, finding that mobility and that little bit of strength in that particular movement. All right, let's try the other side. Starting with no weight, just to make sure. I am kind of up on one hip, and I got the elbow just on the inside of the knee, and I'm not going this way. I'm going this way. Feels pretty good. So I'm going to try now with the 3. That still feels pretty good. Make sure you come all the way up. So on the way down, on the way up. It's working both ways, which is really kind of nice. And once you start to feel a little something there, maybe you go up, maybe you don't. It all depends on your arm. All right, excellent. Here's where you're going to use your blocks now. We're going to come back onto our back, and we're going to do bridge, but we're going to use the block underneath the feet. Just going to lie down onto your back. Blocks about hip width distance apart. Feet go on the blocks. Arms are going to go up in the air. And then you're going to lift your hips up and lower down. All right, well, let's do 5 with both legs, and then we're going to switch to a 1 leg. Now, if you'd like to also hold weights up over your head, that would be nice as well. But I've got the challenge I've just got to keep Ray from licking my face the whole time. So no weights for me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, take a rest. Now we're going to go to one leg. And we have 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make sure your abs are nice and tight. Back is tight, and then switch your feet. Sometimes that's the hardest part, is getting your foot on the block. Leg comes up, and we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice. Let's do it again. 5 on the starting leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. Bring your knees in. Happy baby. See if you can grab your toes. If you can't grab your toes, you can grab your ankles, and you can go wide with those legs and bend the knees a lot. And then both legs go straight up into the air. Flex your feet, point your toes. Flex your feet, point your toes. Flex your feet, point your toes, and flex your feet, point your toes. You're going to cross your right leg over your left. Okay, bend the knees and make it real tight. Okay, so squeeze those legs together. Then you're going to eagle your arms, meaning you're going to cross your right elbow underneath your left. And then if you can hold onto shoulders, that's fine. But if you can do the full eagle where you grab a hold of your hands, that's great. And we're going to bring the elbows to touch the knee best you can. And from here, you're going to pulse, 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 and pulse. Good. Go ahead and take a break. Both legs go up in the air. You're going to cross that left leg over the right and bend the knees and really squeeze it in. Then left arm goes under your right, crisscross. We're going to lift everything up, try to touch elbows to knees, and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Take a break and go open with your legs. Another set of windshield wipers. You're going to figure 4. So you're going to bring your right ankle across your left knee. Option to stay there. Some people really like that option and pushing the legs away. You can then also bring the knees in if this is a better stretch for you. And then change. And then changing that option. And then roll yourself up to seated. We're going to use the blocks again for a nice deep lunge. So I'm going to bring my blocks upright like this. You're going to bring your right leg forward. And we're going to allow that left knee to go back. And we're just going to go forward and back. Just shifting forward and back. Now you're going to go, when you go back, you're going to feel that stretch underneath the leg, the hamstring. Don't overdo it. Just start to feel it. You can slow it down and breathe here. Or keep it moving. And change. Nice and slow. And controlled. And release. We're now going to use the blocks and come onto the elbows onto the blocks. And we're gonna do a shoulder roll in this position. So you're gonna move your shoulder like you're standing and doing a roll, but we're adding pressure to it, okay? So you gotta go with it whichever way you're just most naturally can do it. I usually find that the backwards way is more comfortable for me, using pressure, than trying to do the forward way. But you gotta kind of decide there for yourself. Maybe it's just up and down that you can do. And then you're gonna come onto your hands and we're gonna rotate. Bring your hand behind your back and then turn open. And then switch arms behind your back and turn open. And coming back to center, you're gonna bring your hand now kind of by the side of your head and turn open, like I'm talking to somebody on the phone. And switch. And release. You're gonna come to a seated position. Going to do the 90-90 twist. So you're gonna start with both feet open wide, lean back a little bit, and we're just gonna start with the knees. So we're gonna roll the knees over towards the right side and then to the left side without letting the hands move or come up off the floor. Don't force the knee down. Okay, now we're gonna add the twist. So you're gonna bring both knees over to the right. Then your left hand is gonna come up and it's gonna turn all the way and look at the wall best you can behind you. You can stay here or come down onto your elbows. Use your hands to push yourselves back up if you came down. Now from center, you're gonna just move the knees over first, and now move your right arm to bring it all the way behind you. And then come on down if you did on the other side. And then press yourself back up and turn back into center. If you can bring your feet together like this, that's great. If you still need to cross your ankles, that is great as well. Sitting up nice and tall, I actually want you to lean back a little bit to traction your shoulders. So your arms are straight but relaxed, but I'm holding on with my fingertips. I'm gonna lean back a little bit. Kind of allowing that stretch. And then come up. We're gonna fold forward only as far as you can do it. I'm gonna go ahead and cross my legs a little bit and then fold forward this way. Come down only as far as good for you. And then come up. Guys, that is it for today's class. This is Beastie edition, sort of. Not too beastie, but beastier than we normally do. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Beast mode. Sort of beastie. Kind of beastie.